That game was absolutely relentless, breathless, frantic. Any other word you want to describe it, I don't know. Man United coming out with a 3-2 loss there at the Emirates. Just with Nketiah's last-minute winner. And I tell you what, right, Arsenal, they are the best team in the Premier League right now. Arsenal, the Premier League is theirs to lose. And if Arsenal are the best team in the Premier League, which they absolutely are, and we've seen that today, then we have absolutely competed with them there. I'm not celebrating. In fact, no, fuck it, I will celebrate that. We are 6 months in to Erik ten Hag's tenure as Manchester United manager. What you are witnessing there with Arsenal is a team which has been built for 3 years. And look, I've got fair play to how good Saka was. Fair play to how good Arsenal were. But Man United today there, we've beaten City last week. We've beaten Liverpool at Old Trafford, City at Old Trafford, Arsenal at Old Trafford, Spurs at Old Trafford. We'll probably beat Chelsea at Old Trafford when they come there. And we came off the back of a tough 3-2 defeat. We massively, massively missed that man. Casemiro's composure was needed throughout that entire game. Arsenal had the run of the midfield as we kind of expected them to, but we ended up being camped on the edge of our own box. But I want to reiterate that point and stand by that point. That game there feels like it's re-injected some rivalry back into a game which just hasn't had it for so long. It felt like a game of old, an Arsenal and United game, when they were the two best teams in the league going toe-to-toe. And we went toe-to-toe with Arsenal today, and we just came out on the wrong side of it. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. It was coming in those last 15 minutes. It was. We just didn't have enough at that point in time. But I say one more time. This is 6 months into Ten Hag's tenure as Manchester United manager, and we've beaten all those teams at Old Trafford, and we are competing with the league's best. If that's what Arteta's team can look like in 3 years' time, I am so looking forward to seeing how this United team will look after 3 years under Erik ten Hag. But what a game of football that was. Of course. It was Marcus Rashford who came up with, what a goal, man. What a goal. Thomas Partey absolutely sent him to the shops and megged him. And I mean, the ball was past Ramsdale before he even dived. Unbelievable goal from Marcus Rashford. And it was the first 15 minutes that was, as I said, frantic, crazy, energetic, exciting, exhilarating. You know, sometimes they hype up the big games in the Premier League. That game absolutely delivered there. One of the best games of the season from a neutral for United fans. Of course, not the best game of the season. We just come out with a loss at the Emirates. But as I said, that's an Arsenal team that I haven't seen in a long old time. It's an Arsenal team that certainly learned from that game at Old Trafford. And after that goal went in, Man United, you're thinking, can we do it? Can we hold on to it? And look, Wan-Bissaka, for as much as he has improved since the World Cup, and he absolutely has, and he's massively improved. Dude, mark the man behind you at the back post. I think it was Leipzig in the Champions League. They did it twice away from home, and just balls over the top. It's like he's unaware, but he even knew Nketiah was there. Jeez, Wan-Bissaka, that's poor. Second half kicks off. United, look, I've got to go back before I speak about Martinez's goal, and I will. So I can't even smile about it, can I? Because it means nothing. But Erik ten Hag, I'm praising him, and I will continue to praise him. I'm not sure that starting Christian Eriksen was the best decision today there from Erik ten Hag. It was a game that was played at a tempo that was above what Christian Eriksen is capable of over a 90-minute period. Eriksen is not a man who was ever brought to the club. I've said this a million times. He wasn't brought to the club to play 90 minutes every week. And there today, I think he probably should have been taken off a little bit earlier, and arguably he should have started on the bench. It was just too quick for him. Anytime he had the ball, Arsenal's pressure was relentless. They were just relentless everywhere. As I said, man, the tempo of that game of football was the absolute highest. And the quality was there with the goals. And I'm so pissed off that these photos, that celebration from Martinez, black eye, headband, he didn't care, lunges his head in, equaliser 2-2. And you think, United, can we hold on for that draw? And it's effectively what we were doing. But look at these photos, man. I'm not going full screen, but look at what it meant to Martinez there. The absolute butcher of Manchester indeed. But it's weird. Honestly, it's really weird. I'm coming away with... I didn't expect to win at the Emirates today. That's not Captain Hindsight speaking. Arsenal are top of the league. They are the best team in the league right now. I wanted to win at the Emirates. I was hoping for a draw. And we so nearly did come away from that game with the draw. But as I said, not having that man there was critical. Two things were really critical, in my opinion, that really meant that Manchester United were just under relentless pressure. Number one, actually three reasons. Number one, our midfield. We couldn't play through the midfield at any point today. Partey and Odegaard and Xhaka, they had the run of that midfield. Bruno Fernandes, I'll speak about him in a little bit. I thought that was a pretty poor game from Bruno Fernandes, and I'm happy to criticise any player when I feel they deserve to be criticised. Eriksen, the game passed him by. McTominay tried his best, but McTominay is not Casemiro. We just desperately missed his composure. Every time they were just coming at us, and the ball was going forward. I will be speaking about Weghorst and his good hold-up play, but that was one of the big problems. One of the other big problems was this. Manchester United, simply put, it just makes you nervous. It makes me anxious watching us trying to play it out from the back with the ball. You can't do it. It's like De Gea. He doesn't have that. He's been better at it this season, yes. Doesn't mean he's going to be what we need to really get our team playing like Arteta's. Arteta's there is you know, they look like they're going to be Premier League champions this year. So that right now they're setting the level, and that game there set the level. It's just both teams, as I said, just haven't seen a game like that between Arsenal and United in I don't even want to think how long. But De Gea passing out from the back, Wan-Bissaka, both of them are not particularly confident with the ball at the feet. Arsenal knew that, exposed that, squeezed us, and the first goal came from that. And just a lot of the pressure that was on us came from that. Someone I really have to praise, if I'm being completely honest, and I think, even though you might say, oh, there's no point talking about this sort of stuff after the defeat, but Weghorst, I thought, played really damn well today. I would argue very, very good. He was in that isolated number 9 role, but he was touches round the corner, hold up playing when he needed to, kind of similar to how he did, how he was against Crystal Palace, but I actually think even better today. I thought Antony offered a little bit more in that first half, but still not enough. And I suppose when you see Leandro Trossard, but it's a bit unfair, really. Trossard's been in the Premier League for however many years, and he's 28. So, of course, he's going to settle straight away. But Weghorst, again, I'm liking what... I don't like fucking losing. I didn't want to lose at the Emirates there. But the ultimate measure of our success this season is not whether we're going to be in a title race. I stand by what I said after we beat City. At that point last Monday, we were in a title race. Depending on what happened this week, we'd know whether we were truly in one. And we've come away from Crystal Palace and Arsenal with 1 point. Really, there were 2 late goals. Late free kick, and that goal there was it was more coming against Arsenal than it was against Crystal Palace. That just once in a lifetime free kick from Elise. But it's just great to see this Manchester United team here from where we were 6 months ago. Remember, people, put yourselves back in it. Don't have I think it's called recency bias. It might be the wrong way to describe it, but don't just get hyped up into it and we could slag McTominay and throw him under the bus. We know that McTominay's not good enough to replace Casemiro. Nobody's good enough to replace Casemiro. But there today, this United team have something a bit more. We fell short, right? Of course, we did fall short. We conceded the last minute goal, but we didn't have Casemiro in there. In my opinion, we had a massively, massively tired Christian Eriksen playing there. So that's 2 out of the 3 of our midfielders who are just not on form at all. And then Bruno, the game he just didn't have the best game, I don't think. No, he didn't. I don't really need to say too much about it. I expected more from Bruno. We needed more from Bruno in those games, especially when we were in transition and we kind of needed someone maybe to kind of hold it up, slow it down a little bit. The ball was going back to front so fast, it just kept coming back at us to the point where it just kind of felt inevitable that at some point Arsenal were going to score, and they did score. Was it offside? It didn't look offside. It was a fine margin call. But in these big games, it's those fine margins that you ride or die on. But Ten Hag, I believe in him, man. I believe that if that's how good Arsenal can be under Arteta after 3 years, I want to see where we can be in another 2.5 years after another 2 summer transfer windows. And then the mate, we can compete with the league's best. As I said, and I will reiterate this, we've beaten City, we've beaten Liverpool, we've beaten Arsenal, we've beaten Spurs, we drew against Chelsea away, we come off the wrong end of a tight 3-2 defeat. But it's a far cry from the defeats we had in these big games last season. Ten Hag's got this team part of the way there. Let's see where we can be in another 2.5 years' time. Arsenal, this Premier League title is yours to lose.